Hi, welcome to the We Hate Skill Windows podcast. Today we'll be reviewing the Return of the Mount Hua Sect. I'm Chris,
And I'm Rye.
and today is our 40th episode of the We Hate Skill Windows podcast. Woo!
Wow, golf clapping, yay! I am not able to clap right now. Yeah, hello, it's us. We're reviewing this thing. It's good. Read it. As per usual, here's a short synopsis for Return of the Mount Hua Sect. Return of the Mount Hua Sect is a story about a hmm. So there's this guy, he's like the Plum Blossom Saint, I believe is what they call him. Anyhow, 100 years ago to the present, he participates in a fight against the, like the demonic clan, the general enemy, the usual enemy against these people. And his clan gets wiped out, the sect gets wiped out. He loses one of his arms, but he manages to defeat the demonic general. And then he dies. And he thinks about all he could have done before he dies. And then he wakes up, as you do, and he's in the body of a small child. This is one such regression, or not regression. This is one of those reincarnation stories where you don't actually reincarnate into anyone that you're related to particularly. It's just one where you just sort of reincarnate into some person random, which I suppose is more common than you think for reincarnation stories. I think I'm conflating it with regression story into someone who is entirely not you either. But yeah, he reincarnates, I suppose, into the body of a child. Uh, Learns that the Mount Hua sect that he was part of, basically is gone, or rather is in shambles, and just sort of spends the rest of his time like rebuilding the sect. No one seems to question how he is so strong, and they just let him do what the fuck he wants. So yeah, that's about it. Uh no real skill windows in this one, I will say. Just a more
Yeah,
tried and true martial art one. A lot of sword techniques. Though honestly the main character uses his fists a lot more than his sword. Uh it's weird. It's really weird. I feel like everyone else is following some sort of code where they only fight with the sword or something. The main character will just straight up like uppercut someone. And people usually say, "Wow, so dirty," but like you guys are martial artists. You're not strictly forced to use your sword. I feel like more people should be more underhanded, but they're not. So it doesn't make sense. But anyway, apparently a huge draw of the Mount Hua sect is that their techniques can create plum blossoms and like petals, and it's cool and pretty and sort of like that one guy's power in Bleach that I forgot. There was some captain, he could like split his sword and it became like flower petals. I don't know, it's been a while. I don't recall his name. It's like Byakuya, I think? Bakugan? What was his name? Do you know, Chris?
from One Piece?
No, from Bleach.
From Blue? Definitely, I don't
Did
know.
he? Ah, damn. What was his name? Byakuya? Was it? Yes, Byakuya Kuchiki from Bleach. Ah, yes, I remember, surely. Now, what the hell was his power? Hold on. Namato, what was his power? Oh god. Senbonzakura. Yeah, he is his Shikai? What the hell? Okay, anyway, he basically like created, give or take, like petals, but they were blades or something. I don't really remember anymore. Uh But it's fine. It's sort of like that, but not really at all. It just reminded me of it in the color. It's fine. I don't know. Is there anything you want to complain about in this one?
Oh,
Because personally, it's got pretty pictures. The main character is a fucking troll, and I like it.
honestly, his unhinged way of speaking is immaculate.
He's so unhinged. It's perfect.
Uh,
I No one questions that like a 15-year-old child is talking like he's lived until like his 80s. They're just fine with it.
yeah,
He also like walks like an old man and acts like an old man and also says stuff like back in my day. And everyone's just like, "Oh, you
yeah.
silly."
Uh, the only thing I have to complain, I guess, is probably that the antagonists are all kind of just like,
Stepping stones.
yeah, or yeah, they're just stepping stones. They're just kind of evil people that you don't really get any background on. None of the conflicts are like,
The one guy from the Southern Edge sect, I believe.
yeah,
The one guy that he fought while like treating the doctor, or not the doctor, the merchant. That's the
oh
one guy
yeah,
who redeemed himself.
right. He was a
I
good
don't think there's been
character.
anyone else since. I mean, technically, Fake Chun or whatever.
Yeah, he was an antagonist at one
He
point. He got
was
like
a sort of shit antagonist, but yeah, he sure was one for a second. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's pretty. I mean, it's one of those where if the protagonist wasn't so OP and the antagonists weren't as weak, I feel like it wouldn't work. Almost.
yeah,
Because he definitely does reach his limits fighting like stronger enemies, where he actually has to use his like internal pure Dantian Chi or whatever the hell. And
oh
then he's
yeah,
like, oh, okay, my body's actually reaching my limit. I can't actually fight these people more. So he definitely has a limit. It's just a good thing that that limit is higher than everyone else he fights.
yeah.
Yep. I don't know. You wanna do? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like usually
I
this
just
thing is
rate it.
built on complaints, but yeah, okay. This episodes are gonna get shorter and shorter. All right, rating time. The art's good. The art's quite good. Something magical about these faces that he makes as well, and just in
All his old
general,
man faces.
all of his just like the faces are basically greatest estate developer does faces real well. This thing does faces
Yeah,
arguably just as well.
honestly.
Except, greatest estate developer, they're just memeing it up at this point. Every chapter his face gets worse, and it feels like if you don't see Lloyd's face get more deformed, something's wrong. Uh, but this one, it's more like everyone. I don't know. It's just good, and then the fights are good. Every time he actually shows off a sword technique, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can't really tell if any of the other things they do are particularly cool, but I feel like it's got love and care put into it.
I
I
agree.
am biased, and so I give it a 10.
Uh, I'll probably. Uh, yeah, I could give it a 10 too.
Oh,
I think its art's pretty good.
I also realized I didn't change the colors of this stuff. Let's try to make it more Mount Hua Secty. Color of the
Are you
text,
gonna go with
rather.
the pink?
Yeah, switching it midway, as one does. The pink, and then we'll have one part of the text be white. Does that show up? It does. Oh, hell yeah. It shows up good. Yeah, we'll just change that to white here. Yeah, no, it's pink on white action. Okay, the story. Um, it's not the most impressive story reading it back. I feel like when I was like reading it when it just got released and reading it every like chapter, it felt cooler. But now reading it back, he doesn't actually do a lot. It's a lot of him training and a lot of him training the other third level disciples, and then they go and fight and train more. And then he does like a few things. There's like a few major arcs, but
Yeah.
season 2 did just start, so surely we will see more shit happen.
I do like how this one has longer feeling arcs.
That don't get resolved really, really
Like,
fast.
yeah, because some of those other ones, it just feels like every conflict is gonna like just be artificial, really cheap. It's like, oh, problem arrived. Literally, the next chapter solved.
Yeah, as much as I hated Big Chung or whatever being an antagonist, it was actually sort of good pacing. That he didn't just like hate the main character for one chapter and then like the next turn, like next chapter, he just gets beat up and like admits defeat. Actually, sort of
Yeah.
like naturally tried to like undermine him, and then also was like, okay, now we'll fight and confront each other, and then gets the shit beaten out of him. But you know,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not a bad story.
It does have a lot of random points still sometimes, I feel like right before he fights Big Chen, like he helps that one lady and she's like in sword trance or something. It was just totally it
Sword trance,
was
something that
kinda cool.
they don't talk about ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Uh,
not like I don't know. It just kinda happened, and you're like, alright, cool. That was a portion of the story that happened. Uh,
yeah. He also finds like 300 pills of like plum blossom or whatever, pills of like pseudo life from his past self, and then we only see one panel of him giving it to that one guy. It's like, where'd you
yeah.
put the rest of them? I think he planned on giving it to more of them, but we only see him giving it to the one red-haired guy. So it's like,
I think
where
it's
is
assumed that
it?
he
Do we
gave it
just
to
have to
everyone.
have it implied that but like, at some point he also says that I don't remember their names. I'm sorry. The red-haired guy and the blue-haired guy are like the only ones with talent.
Yeah.
So I feel like he only probably gave it to them,
Oh, that'd be rough.
right? I wonder if he even gave any to the guild master to the sect master,
Actually,
the guild master.
oh,
Oh, I've been
uh,
reading too many fucking guild stories. It's not a bad story. It's a sort of cliche story though as well. Like how he dies, how he gets reincarnated basically. It's pretty
yeah.
cliche. Dies fighting demonic arts general, you know. In the future, it's like everyone forgot about demonic arts. Oh wait, the guy got poisoned and he's showing effects of a demonic art. Oh my god. It's pretty generic. But honestly, this was one of the earlier ones that I read, especially with Asura and all that. I may have actually started reading this one on like Leviathan or some other scan site, but Asura ended up having like better chapters faster. I've been following this one for a while now, and it has not disappointed, arguably. Most of it is because the main character is deranged.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, those two things in order and also simultaneously. Yeah, I'm gonna give the story an 8. It's a good story. I know I've given similar stories less, but I would argue because this is, well, I don't know. It's one of the earlier ones I've read with this general premise. There have been so many more that have came out later than this one with the same premise that I feel are a little sadder, but I don't actually know what order Asura translates things in. Like, I don't know if they choose like straight up ones that are just released or if they're just going by like interest by Discord poll or something. I don't really know. But this one came out
Uh,
like last year at some point. Pretty sure.
oh,
Hold on, we can check this.
the
Here in the Mount Hua
novel or the
Sect.
manhwa?
I'm just gonna reference Mount Hua. Posted March 23rd, 2021. Oh, it's been
Ooh,
a while.
2 years ago.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dang, it's ancient.
It's also maintained a 10 on Asura, which is crazy.
Oh,
It's gotta mean something. Usually, you never get at something that retains a 10. It's always
very sad.
bad. People don't rate things highly on
What?
Asura.
Wait, what do you
They're
mean?
usually like a 9.8, you know? Never a full
Oh,
10.
they'll never recover from that. The 9.8.
They'll never recover. How could they possibly? It's basically a death sentence. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Still pretty high up there, huh?
I'll give the story like mm, I think I'll probably give it a 7. I think it's like a pretty good story, but it hasn't fully like made me that interested yet.
Yeah, season 2 did just come back. So we should be
Yeah.
seeing perhaps another arc. Alright, we got characters. I I mean, the main character is deranged. He's fun. He's very he's got several screws loose in that otherwise quite empty head of a child. Um the the other third rate disciples or whatever, third year disciples, I don't recall what they're called. Uh they're also pretty cool, but a lot of them are pretty generic. Honestly,
They
everyone
kind of
besides red hair
existential.
guy and blue haired guy are sort of just background characters.
Yeah.
That said, all the like main cast are pretty interesting. We've got the one girl who's in the sect, and she's also sort of, well, the main character calls her dumb, but I don't think she's dumb. I think she's just like awkward. I don't think she's dumb. My character, like every time he gets the chance, he's like, she's just really beautiful, but also really stupid. But like, I don't think she is. I think she's just like socially awkward. But I could be wrong. And then the sect master is sort of cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I liked it at the competition. When everyone's faces did the One Piece face,
Oh, the dropping down.
the jaw drop, the eyes popping. It was a good moment. I was like, damn, that's good. I always love it when they like break the art style to do a reference, essentially, I think. But yeah, honestly, sort of wholesome in general. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just sort of generally wholesome. Now, the main character does do a lot of things for money, as with a lot of webtoon main characters in this power fantasy genre, where they're like, okay, what will make me the most money? Saving this merchant? Yes. What if I saved the merchant and got a lot of money so I can drink and buy alcohol and eat meat? And then, as it turns out, the Mount Hua Sect didn't like disallow this. They just were too poor to afford meat in the first place. So,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, after they got some money back, they ended up like eating meat every day as well.
Ooh, good for them.
Good for them. Imagine eating meat every day. Imagine having money. Damn.
Oh, carrying money would be.
Imagine having money. God damn. Imagine having martial. Imagine like chi and like internal arts and shit being real. I mean, it. You ask certain people, it is real, but I don't know if I believe in that. um, technically, there are people out here in the world who practice like internal, not like
Cultivation.
acupuncture, or not called. I recently I was looking into this of there's like some American martial artist who claims to have studied this like ability where he like makes contact with your shoulder and then through like internal energy can like force you to fall down or something. But apparently every time he demonstrates it, it's always on his like direct pupils, and when he does it to random strangers, they don't fucking fall down. So in other words, it's just staged. It's not real. He's just, I don't know. But apparently he's made a lot of money doing it. I don't remember who it is. I just remember I was looking into it because I was looking into like American Shaolin because I saw a YouTube short of some guy doing some insane shit. And turns out he was like the founder of American Shaolin, because he was also in the Chinese Shaolin Temple for a long time, I think. I don't know. And then that got me looking into Stanley's Superhuman show, which led me down this huge rabbit hole of looking at weird people who can do strange things. And it got me to like some real pseudoscience martial artists. It doesn't look like anything's particularly real, unfortunately. The same way like psychics aren't real, and if you conduct a seance, most likely you are not going to meet with your dead ancestor, unfortunately. But if you believe in that stuff, you believe in that stuff. Uh, Main character's sort of cool. Other characters are pretty cool. I, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty wholesome. A 7 it is. What will you?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm pretty fine with the main cast. I think mm, maybe the side characters haven't gotten enough of like a background to really, I don't know, kind of like understand them enough.
Do you think?
Um,
Yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit more backstory on them. Like
or
the
just
the
see them.
girl, we know that she had a dad, and we know that the
Knew how to
dad
move.
knew that certain move, but it's not the most insane motivation, I think. Or like the fake Chen guy has the motivation to like, I don't know, beat his
Beat his
brother
brother.
and like, you know, but like. Uh,
I'm surprised that we have more story on him than the blue hair to the red guy guy.
We
Um,
actually do. We don't know shit about the blue haired guy or the red haired guy.
yeah.
Red haired guy, like, entered the sect and he wants to get stronger. That's not about it. It's like all we know.
He he did it because he wanted to make friends. There's a social connection. The
Oh,
word they
yeah,
used.
social connections. But, like, do you really join a sect to have social connections? Don't you join a sect and then you train in the sect for the next, like, 30 years?
He
How's that
said he would
social
leave the sect
connections?
eventually.
Yeah, but
I
I
feel like
don't
he's
know.
not
I feel
against
like
it.
if you did join a sect, you'd be there for, like, a long fucking time. By the
Yeah.
time you re-enter like modern world or like modern Murim world, it you're like 40. Like you're just your life is a martial artist. Plus, they were poor. What were we gonna make social connections with? Poor people? The beggars association, who
Honestly.
probably were richer than the Mount Hua Sect when we started. Definitely richer, honestly.
Yeah. Mm.
What do
Between
we
kind of like
give?
what
Hmm.
I've seen, I'll also give it a 7.
Hmm. I see. Now for the segment called I Don't Do Math. 17 plus 7.5 would be a 24.5.
Yeah.
That sounds high.
Oh, right.
24.5 out of 30 is a 8.16.
Oh, this is really hard.
That's quite high. Dang, okay. Well, that's that, I suppose. I don't really have much to say about this one. I feel like the good ones are good and the bad ones we complain. Perhaps there's a better way to do this format. Perhaps. I truly don't know, though. We could fill up another segment by talking about, like, anime or something, I don't know, but that wouldn't make too much sense. Uh, Perhaps we should just review anime. Perhaps that's the way to do it.
Mm.
Or maybe we could do like a thing where we review the like source, like we read X chapters of the web novel and like compare the two or something. Give more effort. Web novel is usually much longer and more painful to read through, especially if it's like machine translated or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather not do that honestly. Okay, well, that's that.
Plus, if we read the web novel, so imagine all of our scores, but you took out the art score.
Well, no, the web novels have art. Just look at the like title art and the like occasional chapter art. There's art. It's there.
Does that count?
It does.
Well, I meant the point I was trying to make was like
You
like
get
think of
a
so when you're
glimpse
reading
into
the
the art. Yeah.
or when you're looking at the web novel, so you know all our scores are like skewed kind of by the art score, right? So when we're reading the web novel,
Oh,
we'd be mostly experiencing the
ah,
character and
that's
story scores.
true. That's true. It's true. When you put it that way, hmm. Well, when you put it that way, things seem a bit different. Hmm. We'd have a title art score that's weighed like 50%. So whatever we rate it out of 10, we then like divide, or we just rate it out of 5.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe not. Perhaps another time. Perhaps we do that in a different format or some shit. Who's doing what? You provide a thing now, I think?
yeah.
What we read. What we read
What?
today, tomorrow, next week. Now,
Mm,
this is a small reminder. If you did want to, we don't have to stick to Asura. We could go to Webtoons and pick something out. Also known as, Webtoons right now, having most of Asura's series picked up as well.
honestly, they really like
They really
jumped
do.
on it.
They have like most of them.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, but they
Uh,
also have Return of the Mount Hua Sect. It's just called Return of the Blossoming Blade,
Ooh,
but it is arguably the same thing. Maybe they clean up the art a bit more? I don't know. Sometimes I don't
That is
really
a good
know what
translation.
Webtoons does to the thing. I feel like sometimes they clean up the art. Sometimes they really don't though. And sometimes the translations are worse. I don't really understand. There was a point where out of high school just had like very inaccurate translations towards the end.
Oh,
And it was quite depressing actually. But anyway, what are we doing?
should it be one that's not on Asura?
I'm just saying we don't have to do one on Asura. I'm not saying we, you know,
Uh, you could read The Druid of Soul Station.
why do you sound so sad? Oh, you like the Druid of Soul Station.
Do I like it?
I don't like it. Oh god, we could read Druid. Now, are we reading Druid of Soul Station purely through webtoons, ending on episode 96, or are we reading like on some other site where I think it's up to like 130 something?
Uh,
Let's just read webtoons, shall we?
yeah.
Let's just make it easier for ourselves.
Oh wait, this one's made by Redice.
Eh?
Called
Return of Soul Station?
no, that might
Return the Druid of Soul Station?
that might actually be from Redice. I was looking at a different one.
Which one?
Called Boundless Ascension. Oh, wait, it's only got 16 chapters. Never mind.
Boundless Ascension.
I read the words
Oh,
Dungeon Break, Towers of Trials, and Hunter. So we know what it's about.
wait, is that webtoons?
Yeah.
Boundless Ascension. I feel like I've read this. Oh, read. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I have. Aha. It's got 16 there, but don't worry, it's also on Asura. Aha, hee hee.
Perfect.
It's got 38 chapters on Asura.
Perfect.
You want to try that one, or do you want a Druid of Soul Station up?
Let's try the Soul Station it up.
Ah, hell yeah, sandwiching the good and the bad. How do you spell soul? Fuck.
Seoul.
Seoul. Yep, okay. I did spell it right. I just thought I spelled it wrong. Okay, Druid of Soul Station, if I recall correctly, his whole fucking theme is blue, so we turn the thing into blue, we select some other blue colors, and we call it a goddamn day. This one's not very good, just warning for whoever the hell out there is actually reading this, or reading, watching, listening. It's not as good as this one, but that's fine. That's what this is about, surely. Right, well, see you next time then. Unless, oh, yeah, you wanna show your shit? Even though I don't think anyone listens this far?
Yeah,
Yeah,
freaking
smash the
Kung
like
kick
button.
that like button.
Yeah, kick the subscribe button until it can't get up anymore, and then
Yeah,
stab it in the
bite
back
off
and force it to
the comment
regress. Hell
section.
yeah. Yeah. There's really nothing I can say about it. I don't really like shilling this shit. I feel like if
Yeah.
people like something, they should just subscribe and come back because they like the stuff, not because someone forcibly was like, if you like this video, you should really, really think about using your Twitch Prime on my stream or something, you know? And that's not even the right platform, but like, I don't know. People always talk about the bell button and how much it is useful. It is. Don't get me wrong. You should definitely use the bell button. But I don't like forcing people to hear that message every time. That said, Druid of Soul Station, we'll be back. And yeah, soon we'll be at 50 episodes. That's sort of cracked, sort of incredible. Perhaps we should do something special for that. Anyhow, we'll see you next time.